a journal and call it the Book of the Dead. um, well, because it just seems to make sense to call it a Book of the Dead, because when you essentially gather ideas with death in of itself consideration, it's in that paradoxical way to, essentially live a longer life or come up with something that's tangible while you were alive. So, a few ideas. Okay, got some of this shit written down. Have a class of organizations, essentially based on semantics, language and categories in of itself, entailing organizations of social groups. And this refers to all fauna in the animal kingdom. And I don't know if I can find this shit, but it's like my immune system's doing the work for me, so my body's waking up. Okay. Let's keep it going. What do I want to talk about? Oh yeah, basic things. Culture, in my eyes, composed of three things. Sexuality. Biologically, you're driven to procreate. When you speak any language, you talk about whatever, it's subconsciously connected to sexuality, to sex. Because when even if you say you're asexual, right? You have a vagina, or you have a penis, you have whatever, you have something. You're biologically driven to do something. Hence, Book of the Dead, right? I think there's two ways the world is approached as far as in action and something that's active. Two ways: artistic versus systematic. Artistic or creative, or systematic, which is putting things in in a way of organization, plain and simple. Everything else is just essentially perception and absorption of stimulus. Perceptions and stimulus, but in terms of experience, absorbed experiences. Makes sense. I think that, two ends of a man, as far as how he is sexually, socially perceived by the opposite, is Mr. Steal Your Girl versus the pimp. Mr. Steal Your Girl is someone who, these are archetypes, right? Not there's no such thing as one thing and that is all, obviously. So, Mr. Steal Your Girl is based on a given situation, and this is assuming that everything is a free market. Mr. Steal Your Girl is someone who based on a pimp's current experience, takes the woman from there and fornicates. Pimp is emotionally driven by the social situation and what's around him. I think psychology, the study of the mind, should be split into two studies, anecdotal studies, and as far as how it connects to Carl Jung and Freud, anecdotal, completely experiential, based on symbols. As far as a lot of it has to do with memories, and anecdotal studies essentially points to subjective perception in of itself on an individual, on an animal in the animal kingdom. That's as sentient as you can be, not in comparison to flora. I mean, it's I've always tried to see the connection between flora and fauna, and obviously everything is interconnected. But what I've seen in flora is obviously you don't have sensory neurons, but obviously it's in your reflection as an individual as far as how you perceive nature, everything in of itself, right? Because you'd see trees on mountains. Big example. Draw patterns and shit. Am I crazy? I am crazy. Look at that. It's like my quote unquote psychedelic pattern seems to it seems to somehow make it. It's like the spacing seems to. It has basis on reality or Pandora's box has been opened. I'm gonna have a store called or a shop called Pandora's box. My definition down. Totality of everything, cosmic order of the universe. The all, good vibes, the ugly. I think bugs should be called insectids. Because like insects, like when you, as far as language goes, when you refer to a bug in general, you say an insect, not pest. But obviously there's arachnids also that should be called insectids. I don't know if that's a word or not. And besides, I flush it all out, look it up, see if it exists. But it was me fleshing out current ideas. Social contracts that rolled into extinction. Dementorologist from fucking from J.K. Rowling, masking the unseen. Pyrite royalty. Think about these words. The incompatible and making no sense. Definition, description, rabbit limits, and expansion. Command execute. For I think as far as the feminine to the masculine, as far as a woman and a man goes, I think for a woman it is as far as communication goes. Same sexual. So command for women, for men execute. The black to your white, the other end of the your realm, essentially. What is someone who leads? What does that person do? First thing, to unite. The isolated and disparate. And by tool as in not the person and of himself or herself, but rather what is socially accepted, what is in quotes universally agreed upon by social standards. That's what I see. That's what it means. I have what you can cook on November 11th.